Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about how to know if you're in the right state to manifest what you want. Welcome to the channel. This is the place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. And my friends, everything you want is in there. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on the channel. And if you need any assistance with your manifestation or coaching, I have those services below in the description box, as well as details on if you want to submit your success story to be featured on the channel and potentially made into a lesson. All that below. All right, fantastic. So how do we know if we're in the right state to get what we want? If we're asking that question of, am I doing this right? That's a clue. That is a clue that we might be in a state that's perpetuating something other than fulfillment. So let's distinguish between the two. The right state feels comfortable. It feels almost as if like you don't need it. You don't need the thing to show up in 3D because you are it. You feel the sense of fulfillment in knowing that I am it. And the right state feels good enough to sustain you. I'm going to say that again. The right state feels good enough to sustain you. To sustain you. The state itself is the payoff. When you hit it, you know it, you feel it in your body. You feel it in your mind, you feel it in your body. You've moved into alignment. That's what I think is alignment, mind and body, heart and mind, all, together, working together. And you're it. You've already integrated it into who you are. Now, compare this to a state of lack, where we're looking around and saying, am I doing this right? Is this good enough? We are needing it, trying to get it, trying to work out the details. It feels like a hungry monster to me. This is when I'm in it. This is what it feels like. Where we're constantly trying to feed it, right? We're feeding the fear of, if I don't do something, the ball won't get moved down the field. We're feeding the fear of, I have to keep fixating on it in order to get it. I have to keep doing practices or techniques. I have to maintain this. It's a very needy state. And it perpetuates itself, right? These states, when we're in them, feel endless. I compare it to the terracotta warriors, right? Our consciousness is like a bunch of terracotta warriors. We can jump between these states. And when we're in one, they feel endless. Like one of those mirror illusions where the mirrors line up and they seem to go on forever. These states, when we are in them, they feel infinite because they are, in a sense, they are infinite. And so we will often get caught up in the state of need or lack or trying to fix, and it perpetuates itself, right? Lack perpetuates lack. And so we get caught in this circle of trying, that when we do move into the state of fulfillment, it feels like rest. It feels like, oh, okay, this is it. This is the good feeling. I feel safe. I feel confident enough to let this go. Right? It's like your car. Think about your car. You feel comfortable not thinking about your car, right? You don't have to focus on it to keep it in your reality. And so you can just let it go and not think about it. And then when you need it, you go out and you put the key in the engine and start it up and drive it away. It's there for you, right? You feel comfortable enough that it is so integrated into your identity that you feel safe about it. That's fulfillment. That's what it feels like. That's all we got to do. We just got to keep moving into that state, move back into that state. It's not something we have to perpetuate 24/7. Just like with our car, we don't have to think about our car 24/7 to keep it in our garage or on the street or wherever it's parked. We don't have to do that. We feel safe enough to know that it's ours. It's ours. It's part of us. It's part of our consciousness now. So let's do a little test to see where you are, which state you might be in, so that you can move into the state that's not only going to feel better, but is going to unfold the reality where you have what you want because you feel that, because you're embodying that experience. So if I told you you weren't allowed to think about your desire anymore, that for the next week you just had to drop it, not think about it, let it go, let it drift into the ether. What just came up for you? Was it fear? Was it like, oh my gosh, no, I can't do that. I can't believe she's saying that. Resistance, like, Urgh. Or was it like, okay, I could do that. I could go focus on something else for a week and be happily distracted. Sure, no problem. That's going to tell you where you're standing right now. Because if it's scary for you, you're in the hungry monster stage where you're feeding, you're trying to get it. You're still focusing on making it happen. And this is why people can get thrown by circumstances, because we're allowing the circumstances to be a part of the story, right? Whatever state we're in, the circumstances play a different role. In the state of fulfillment, it sustains you. The state itself sustains you to the point where you're not looking out at the 3D, asking it to show you what you want to see. Whereas where you're in that lack, that trying, that hungry monster phase, you're going to calibrate by circumstances. Like, they're going to bother you. You're going to look out and say, it's not here yet. Where is it? Why aren't I doing this right? How do I know if I'm doing this right? Because the circumstances, right, are because we're not feeling fulfilled, because we're fearful and doubtful, the circumstances reinforce that. Our interpretation of them is reinforcing the state that we're in, and that is always lack and need, and it's not there yet, and I'm missing it. And so we're going to interpret the circumstances as evidence of that state. Whereas when we're in fulfillment, we're always going to interpret the circumstances as evidence that we're fulfilled. We are fulfilled. It's okay. Everything's good. We're flowing and moving and jamming over here. So I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that you know that it doesn't take a lot of work. This is the biggest misconception I want to clear up here today, is that it takes work to go from the hungry monster to fulfillment. It does not. You literally can jump. You just jump over there. You just jump into, imagine literally if you were jumping into the shoes of someone who saw the world as fulfilled through the eyes of fulfillment, who was already experiencing what they want to experience, who already had it, who felt safe and comfortable. You can literally just jump. It doesn't take any work to get there, right? Because if we're trying to go from lack and need, we're going to feel like we got to work at it, because that's what we've been conditioning ourselves to do in that state. But you just got to jump. You just got to trust that all of those options, all the terracotta warriors of options, of different perspectives that are available to you now, they all exist here and now. They exist independently of whatever state you're in. So just because I'm feeling the hungry monster doesn't mean I can't reach fulfillment in a snap. I can go there in a snap. It's there. Its potential is independent of wherever you are. So I know it feels sometimes, it may feel when we're in states of lack and need and I'm not feeling it and I'm having a bad day. We have a hard time perceiving that we have control or that we could get over there so easily, but you can just jump. You can just choose to be that person, choose to see that through that vantage point. It is literally like jumping into a different body, looking out through their eyes and knowing this person has it. It's a really cool experience. And the more practiced you get at this, the faster you'll be able to jump and you'll keep returning to the state of fulfillment. So I hope that was helpful. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought. I'm happy to engage with you, and have a fantastic day, my friends.